It's exciting. Finally, game week. Our players are excited. Coaches are excited. Ready to get this season going. As I said before, throughout the summer we've improved. Be interesting to go out there and see how much. I'm just as anxious as you are to get out there and get playing. It'll be great to play a season opener. How long has it been, Tony?
9 months.
No, how many years since we played a home opener?
Oh, home opener. 2007.
2007, so that'd be good. UT Martin's a good football team, well-coached team. They have 4 returning starters on the offensive line. We'll have our hands full, and we're just anxious to get out there and see how we can play.
Mark Darian Miller, depth chart
Yeah.
comes out. That's a pretty glaring absence there.
Yeah, he's going to have to sit one game, violation of team rules. So he'll be back game 2.
That's pretty disappointing. A guy that started 24 straight games and has been sort of looked on as a veteran guy, a leader.
It is. It happened some time ago. We've addressed the situation. He's done what he needed to do, so he'll be back in good standing after one game.
Coach, second year around for you. How do you feel going into year 2 as compared to year 1?
You feel a lot better. You feel a lot more confident. But as I said, I think, even as an assistant through all these years, you're always anxious to get out there in the first game and just see what you have, and see where you're at. So, I know we're improved. We'll see how much.
Mark, do you feel like Kyle Meadows is ready to step into that
Yeah.
spot and play?
Yeah, I feel good about Kyle's. He's worked hard, and it'll be good to get him out there and see what he can do. And Jordan Swindle will do good on the left side.
Mark, you've got 5 on the depth chart listed as a linebacker.
Yeah, you know how it varies whether we're 4 down or 3 down. So, we just listed it that way this year. Depends on the personnel that they start with, really.
How much of that, too, though, is wanting to get both in and Asher on the field when you can?
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. We wanted to get Jason on the field a year ago. He went through some good growing pains. He's getting better. He's a good football player, and that is part of it, to get him on the field.
Coach, you've got a lot of new kids this year, just like last year, but yet you have so much leadership coming from the kids last year. Does that allow you to do more? Was it easier for you to get things in than it was a year ago?
Definitely. Always more comfortable year 2 with implementing the offense and defense. We went through a transition last year in season, as you know, just going to some 3 down, or going to some more 3 down. And so it was good to have a whole off season, see what we did well, what we can do better. And players are more comfortable, coaches are, so I feel good about that.
Marco Robinson play this week?
He will. DeMarco's back in good standing. He paid his price. He was suspended the last 2 games of last season. He met the obligations that he needed to. He's back in good standing, and he will play in game 1. There'll be one other person. Rashad Cunningham will not. He'll have to sit 1 game as well.
Is that a violation of team rules?
It is.
Coach, will you do anything this week to prepare some of your young guys to get ready for the bright lights? Is that going to be something you have to go through to?
Yeah, I think they just need to go through it. We put them in pressure situations all through camp, and we just got to throw them out there and see what they can do. I expect them to go out and play well. Some of the wide receivers will be forced into action. I want to say we have 4 redshirt freshmen that'll play, 4 on the O-line, 4 redshirt freshmen that'll play on the O-line, 4 true freshmen will play at wide receiver.
I apologize if this has been
Yeah.
addressed in the past couple days, but what's Alex Montgomery's status?
Yeah, Alex is still out. He's hurt. He's injured, so he'll be out for some time.
How has Patrick responded?
Same with Badette.
How's Patrick responded?
He's responded well. I think it was a relief for him to, he was trying to be a good leader, but as you know, when you're in a quarterback battle, that's tough to do sometimes. I think the comfort level of him being the leader and trying to lead the offense has helped him. I think, getting some guys back healthy. Javis Blue's been back out there for a few days now. That helps as well.
Mark, you mentioned that home opener for the first time since 2007. Is there some value in that when you're breaking in so many new guys and you have a quarterback who hasn't played a lot that you'd be surrounded?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Just playing at home in the opener is exciting to me. I know our fans are ready to go, and we need to do our part. You know, I know we'll have great support, and we need to go out there and start fast and play a good football, and play with great energy and play with great discipline, and make it exciting for the fans.
A lot of teams in this league don't get to play their first 2 games at home. How relieving is that for you to be able to do that?
No, I think it's real important. I do. I think we need to start fast, and we need to go out and play well. I think our players, like I said, we've talked a lot, and like I said, Coach Spurrier always says it best in the talking season. We've talked a lot. You know, we've improved. You know, our football team has worked hard, so we'll see where we're at. I know we're going to play better. It'll be good to see these young guys get out there and play and see how we've improved, and see the veterans, guys like Bud and Z, and how they come out and how much they've improved. You know, so it'll be good to play at home.
Mark, you got a lot of young kids playing for the first time. I don't care where you're at, it's normal to be nervous.
Yeah.
How do you keep some of these guys calm when you just can't until they get in and out?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. You know, that's part of the unknown that I say we'll see, and how you respond year to year. And certainly with young guys, some guys are going to go out there for the first time, and they're going to exceed our expectations, you know, and then some guys will probably have some rough spots here and there, and have some mental mistakes and physical mistakes and things like that. But that's why you just got to get out there and play. There's no substitution for experience. You just got to get them out there, get them on the field, and get them playing. We've tried to put them in as many game-like situations as we could. We try to prepare them the best we can with all different situations, and had a good camp and put them through a lot of tests. So we'll see how they go play.
What do you know about Tennessee, Mark?
You know, they have a great defensive player. Number 40, the linebacker, is an exceptional player, and he's really good football player. He could play anywhere in the country, and you know, I really like the way he plays. You know, like I said, I think they're a well-coached team. You know, they're very multiple on both sides of the ball. They could do a lot of things. So you got to be prepared for a lot, which is good for us to spend that time getting ready for a variety of offenses or a variety of defensive schemes. I think they're the type of team that it's a little unknown. They may get out there and try to pressure the heck out of us, or they may try to, you know, drop 8. They've shown both, you know, where they've tried to be conservative and drop 8 guys in the coverage a bunch, or they can, you know, blitz the house and come after you. So I would imagine we'll see a little bit of everything, and again, that'll be good for us to see how we respond and to prepare for all that.
Chad said that Boom might not be a guy right now with all these backs. It may not be a guy that's in your heavy rotation at running back, but that you've got to find some ways that he may be a guy that can split out wide. Obviously, he's listed number 1 as your kickoff return.
Yeah, he's going to start at kickoff return. He's a guy that I will be excited to see him with the ball in his hands. He definitely is a difference maker. You know, same with Mikel. You know, Mikel Horton is the same way. I think he's a guy that I want to see run the ball in the first game and see where we're at. We do have the luxury of having some depth at running back, and so we got to get those guys the ball.
How quickly does those guys call on to this package and all that?
They're getting there. They're getting to a point where we trust them. You know, where they can operate the whole offense.
Will Braylon take the majority of those reps at running back? Is that going to be split pretty evenly?
Braylon and JoJo. We list those guys. I don't know what it came out, but I mean, we look at them as co-starters. I mean, we may start in a package with both of them. You know, so.
They're at linebacker. You got Flanagan and Henderson kind of.
Yeah.
Does that mean they're both going to play, or still?
They both will play. We'll see how practice goes this week. They'll both play. They both have done a nice job.
What you think of Patrick to be able to go out and win the quarterback job, and what did that take for him?
Yeah, it was real important. You know, as I've said, I think you've got to look at Patrick and be proud for him the way he's responded to the situation. You know, a year ago, you know, he came out of camp at this time. He was 3rd on the depth chart, and he just looked at it. You know, what can he do to improve? And like I said, he just went out and battled, got better over the year, and came out this year and flipped the script and came out of it number 1. So he has an opportunity. I have a lot of confidence in him. I appreciate the way he's gone about his business. I think our team has, and he has this opportunity now. So he needs to go make the most of it and go play well.
Is DeMarco going to be your punt returner?
He is. We're still grooming Timmons, as I've said before. I think you'll see both of them in the first game. And DeMarco's done it for a while, has some good experience. He's very comfortable catching the ball, and his decision-making is better than most just from the experience. So we'll continue to get Timmons involved as well.
Mark, you're down 3 receivers this week, but numbers-wise, do you feel like you can use those 4 wide out sets more often now?
Yeah, I do. I feel better. We're discussing our depth chart over the weekend and early this morning, and we do feel good about the wide receiver position. I feel like if we are in a 4 wide receiver set, we do feel like we're too deep. Maybe not as experienced as you'd like to be still at certain spots there, but talent-wise, we're getting to the point where those are the guys we're looking for. You just need to continue to get better, keep on working, and see who goes out there and makes the plays.
Is there anything that UT Martin does offensively that you know of? Talk about the defense.
They're a little bit. They do a little bit of everything too. You see, they could get in. They put an extra tackle in and play him at tight end. So they may try to get big and run the ball a little bit. They've done that. Certain games, they get into the what we call a 20 personnel look, or they might play with 11 people. Like our offense doesn't like a lot of people do with that H-back off and could do a variety of things. They get into a little bit of the Q quarterback run game stuff. So there's a lot to prepare for. It'll be good for us. There's a lot of things we're familiar with and we see from our offense as well, even if it's just the sets and things like that and the split flow things that we see from our offense from 11 or 20 looks. 20 looks is just 2 backs, 3 wide receivers. So we'll see a lot of things from them. Unsure, like anybody, the first game, they've had a long time to make some tweaks and adjust some things. So you never really know in that first game. They could come out and emphasize something that we haven't seen much of. But that's where all the practice comes in preparation from just about anything, whether they're in empty sets or big sets or whatever. We worked it all. We just got to apply our rules and we got to go play well.
What's your biggest question about your team?
Yeah.
That you want to find out about Saturday?
Well, I just think consistency. We've just got to go play well and be consistent. We're not good enough to make silly mistakes and shoot ourselves in the foot and turn the ball over and things like that. Obviously. So we want to be very consistent. We want to pick up our tempo offensively and continue to grow and move the ball like we want to move the ball. We talk about our running backs and things like that, and of course, I've always said that, and Neil's always said that. We've never given anybody any false indication of what we want to be offensively. We want to be balanced, and of course that means we need to throw the ball better than we did a year ago also. So we need to grow offensively and do what we want to do that way. And defensively, again, be more consistent. We need to get more turnovers. We certainly need to get more interceptions. So just be a more consistent group. I think fundamentally we're getting much closer to where we want to be, especially up front. I think in the secondary we're getting better. We just need some playmakers to step up.
Do you have a feel for the percentages for run versus pass that you'd like to see you guys get to this year?
I don't, that's going to vary week to week. We always want to be close to 50-50 if you can be. If you look at UT Martin, somebody was asking me about them earlier. They were very balanced a year ago as well. They want to be balanced, and for any defensive guy will tell you that. The most difficult offenses to stop are the balanced ones.
Mark, does Dylan Barnes bear any resemblance to him?
He does. He's a good football player. He split time last year. They're listed as about the same this year. They're both good football players. You could certainly see the talent there, and some of those throws and plays he makes are fun to watch.
Josh,
I just hope I don't see those next week.
we talked about a lot of running backs, but one that I haven't really heard is Clemens. Where does he fit into things, or is he in a similar situation where his injury really set him back from being?
It did set him back. Part of it, he's worked extremely hard, and really appreciate Josh and the hard work he's been. He's had some tough luck, and he's really worked hard. We've tried to be very smart with him, and he can only handle so much, throughout spring and through camp. We tried to just practice him every other practice to save his legs and save his knee. He did get into a live scrimmage, and honestly, he got tweaked up there in that scrimmage. So there's that fine line of getting him game ready and not. with him being on the sideline some, sure, it gave reps to those young guys that are very talented and very good football players. So he will have a role. We've got to continue to, push for that and get him in there. He's a big, strong guy that has some unique skill sets that can help us, and we've got to try to use them. You always see at any position, we'll see how things go. We'll see who emerges and who really plays well.
Coach, you talked about UT Martin showing a lot. Are you one of those coaches that likes to pump the brakes on game one, is open up the playbook, or do you just like to take the gloves off and go?
No, we've got to do everything necessary to play at a high level, so we will do, with any game plan, you got to take whatever you're going to emphasize that week and run with it. So on both sides of the ball. But we will try to play as best we can and do everything we can. We can't take anything for granted. You know that. It's just not where we're at. State of our program, we've got to go out and play the very best we can each and every snap. So whatever we have to do to play well on both sides of the ball and in special teams, we'll do that.
Talk about needing playmakers in the secondary. A guy you always seem kind of excited to talk about is A.J. Stamps. Is he the one back there that looks the most like the kind of guys you're used to coaching in the secondary?
Very comfortable with him. I love the way he plays. I love his instincts. He's the type of guy where you correct him once, he generally never makes the same mistake twice. So really like the way he's been playing. As I've said it before, I think that's a position where we drastically needed to improve, and I believe we did.
Mark, how familiar are you with Coach Simpson? How far are you guys?
I'm not very familiar with him, to be honest with you. I know he's been here for some time, maybe 8-9 years, and from Mississippi. Believe he played at Southern Miss, so I don't know him well.
Mark, is it definitely been decided, is Darrell Long going to redshirt himself?
Yeah, that is. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we plan on doing right now.
How did he kind of take that?
He was good. A lot of the freshmen were good with it. They see it. Like I told you during some press conferences during camp, they get out here and they're very talented football players. It's difficult. We're getting better. As we get better, it gets harder to beat out some guys and get in there for playing time. So, that's what you want in our program. Some positions we don't have that luxury. At wide receiver, we have to feed these guys with a fire hose because we need them to play. That's just where we're at. And, it's difficult. That's 2 years in a row where, we've had to do that on the offensive side of the ball. I'll tell you this, if you had to do that on defense, I got very little hair left, but I think it would all be gone. It's hard. There's just so many things change, and you've got to keep on moving as a program. So it's good to have them, supplement you and add some depth in certain spots, and some guys you could bring along. If you're playing a whole mass group of them, you're going to have a hard time.
Mark, is there any plan to give Reese Phillips a series here or there, or is it to go with Patrick and then just see what happens?
Yeah, that's the plan right now. We'll get into that, honestly, as we get through this week. And I think I'd love to play him. Just off the top of my head, I'd love to play him. We'll see where we're at. But and I know, Patrick also needs the reps, and we got to get out there, and we've got to get better, and we've got to move this program forward. And so we'll see how that goes. But to answer your question, I'd be very disappointed if he didn't play in this game.
Talk about how the Cole Mosier thing is going.
Yeah, Cole. Yeah. Really, really impressed with Cole. He's really done a nice job. We liked him a year ago. He redshirted, and then we liked him in the spring, and just. He's a very big guy. He's physical. He will play in this game, and he's battling for playing time on the inside. And so I'm anxious to see him play and see how he does.
Hey, Coach.
Yes.
Talk about the importance of having Dupree and Kadarius back on defense.
Mm-hmm.
How big is that, and what that mean for you?
Yeah, I think it's really important for those two to come back. As I said, a lot through the offseason, I think leadership is the first thing that jumps out at you. But also confidence. Our players see those guys out there. They make plays. They're consistent. They're always there. And they're great to have. I'm pretty tight with my compliments. You guys know that over the course of the year and a half. I'm pretty conservative when it comes to complimenting guys until we've proved it and earned it. But I probably haven't complimented those guys enough, to be honest with you. They are tremendous football players and great leaders, and they're going to be great pros.
Mark, what's the single hardest thing for a true freshman thrown out there for the first time?
Pardon me?
What's the single hardest thing for a true freshman thrown out there for the first time?
Just how fast the game moves, and even in practice, we have so many reps. If they make a mistake, they certainly hear about it, but it's on to the next play because it's just, and then you get in the game and things just happen even faster. Yeah, and so and that's where the experience comes in. With experience, the game slows down for them, and I think that that's what you see. And like I said earlier, I think you'll see some guys respond to it very well, and you'll see some guys make some silly mistakes.
Do you think that Neil has that first offensive series script into the tee?
Not yet. We're working on it. I was pressing him on that this morning. So now we're working through that. We'll see what package we want to feature and where we want to go right out of the gate.
How important will it be just to get Patrick comfortable early? Is that going to be the goal going into?
I think definitely. It's certainly important for Patrick to get off to a fast start. For our team to get off to a fast start. So there's no hiding from that. It's important for him to play well. He will. He's going to make a lot of good plays, and I'm sure he'll make a few bad ones as well.
Mark, you and Neil and DJ said several times last year, people focus on the great plays, but you need to have good plays stacked on top of it.
That's right.
How close or how much closer are you to getting that now than you were last year, you think?
Much closer. I think then it comes to the big plays, and that's where we still need to grow. I think if you watch, you watch college football and you see these great teams, and you see a lot of great teams in this league and that are very well coached. And then it comes down to some guys making some plays a lot of times as well. So you need playmakers to emerge.
Mark, you talked briefly about Tony Bell, number 40.
Mm-hmm.
What is it he especially does that you like? I know he had 10.5 sacks last year.
Well, he's a great linebacker, but he's a great pass rusher as well. Like Bud in that area, where Bud's different. Bud's an outside backer and obviously much bigger, but he's like Bud in that he's comfortable on his feet. He's got great instincts, and he's a extremely good pass rusher. So he's a mismatch for some people on the edge.
Mark, you kind of said things like Patrick has this opportunity now.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to go play well. He needs to start fast. Is this?
Don't go there. No, it's not. No, I mean that I'm going to cut you off because I know where you're going. No, he has the keys. You've heard me say that before. He has the keys. He's going to go through some ups and downs. That's anybody at any position. We never guarantee anything except an opportunity. So.
But he's not.
No, he's not on a short lease. He won the job. He is the starting quarterback.
Coach, you've been around a lot of NFL players. Where could you possibly see Bud and Za'Darius going in the draft? Or I know you're not really focused on that, but just based off what you see and what you know from the past, where could they possibly go, you think?
I'd be very shocked if Bud was not a first-round draft pick and have the opportunity. He's got to play his way into it, have an opportunity to be a high pick. I truly believe that. I've been around a lot of great ones and been a lot of great DN outside backers recently at Florida State, and he's an exceptional player. And Za'Darius, same thing. He could have gone a year ago, a little later than that, a little lower, but has a chance to play himself up into a high draft pick, one of the first couple rounds. So they're both very talented, but Bud's special because he has that ability to play standing up, put his hand in the dirt. He's a pass rusher. He's got instincts. With everybody going to the, a lot of the 3-4 things and outside backers and how versatile he is, he's a very good football player.
I was surprised he was second team on that preseason, all that.
I am. Yeah, I was. And that's one of the reasons why I think about how, I'm pretty conservative with my praises of certain guys. But I don't need to be with him because he's a guy that comes to work every day. He loves being here. If he was worried about all that, he would have left a year ago. And he wanted to come back. He wanted to play. He wanted to play himself up into a high pick. He wanted to lead this team. He had unfinished business. I love everything about him, the way he goes about his business. He's not worried about anything except getting better today.
Will you have captains this year? You talk so much about leadership. Is that something you guys are going to do, or are you
Yeah, last year I was unsure. We worked our way through and changed them up throughout the year. And as you saw a year ago, Avery was a staple out there. So we'll see how that goes in the next couple weeks.
Mark, has Matt Elam made it through camp? Is he where you wanted him to be going into the first?
He's made it through camp. He's getting better every day. He's about where I thought he would be. He's a talented football player that the sky's the limit, that we need to continue to develop, fundamentally. Not just shape. I mean, fundamentally, he's got to play better. And he's got to play lower and, be more consistent. But what I love about him, it's not easy. It's not been easy. And he has a good attitude about it. He's got his ups and downs like all freshmen. But he's really trying to fight through it. He really wants to be a good player, and he needs to. He needs to stay, extremely dedicated if he wants to be everything that we know he can be, which is a great football player.
Funny guy.
He is a funny guy, yeah. He's got a lot less jokes through camp, though. He's been a little tired. So no, he's got a good attitude. He's been fun. Yeah. I feel good about our D tackles. I really do. I feel like we're getting closer. They're playing better fundamentally. I think anything about myself, that we take great pride in that. It's not, that's our job to develop them into good fundamental football players. I feel like Jimmy's done a good job with them. Jimmy Brumbaum, we're getting closer to where we want to be.
Jimmy said he's lost about 15 pounds since
Yeah.
camp started.
Yeah,
You guys have a handle on where he is weight-wise?
Well, he's getting better. He's working hard. He's got, just like any young guy, any freshman, it takes time, and you just got to keep on working. But I like his attitude. I like, he knows that he's got to work hard. He knows he's got areas that he needs to improve, and he's addressing them.